Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is William Michael Forbes. I want to welcome you to Shortcuts for Your Soul. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And today, I've got this beautiful energy coming through. I'm not sure who this being is. Seems to be very feminine. But the message today is about persistent peace. And when I asked her what she means by persistent peace, she says it's important you understand that just as your fears can be persistent in your mind, so too can peace be persistent in your mind. That it's very important at this time that we develop a mind that is peacefully based. And we're going to get into that shortly. I want to say good morning to everybody. Hope you guys had a wonderful and a joy-filled weekend. Let's see what we got here. Hi, Marigold. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Minaj. Patricia. Hello, Angela. Hello, Louise. Hello, Allison. Yeah, persistent peace. What is persistent peace? When she put the words to me and I asked her, what is persistent peace? She said, it is a state of your being unmovable from wherever you hold your attention. And I said, well, what happens if I'm focusing on fear? She said, as long as you can keep your attention in a fixed point of consciousness, it will be immovable. Fear, guilt, shame are erratic movements of energy. They're always going to be polarized, right? A persistent state of peace, she said, is easy to cultivate. It's easy to cultivate, but it has to be deliberately, consciously cultivated and chosen. Persistent peace. She said, if you choose to say the words to yourself, persistent peace, she said, you can actually say those words and feel the vibration of that energy of persistent peace. Sorry, her energy is getting more intense in my right ear as she comes in. Persistent peace. It's something that we all need to cultivate, certainly with all of the distractions that are going on in the world. And in the course of today's lesson, we hope to get you to the place where you understand a little bit more about how to feel, restore, maintain, and establish a state of persistent peace. And you've heard us talk about on other occasions where we speak of being able to get your mind still and quiet, to also get your emotional energy still and quiet, and that you actually have the ability to do that. Every single one of us has the ability to become aware of our thoughts and aware of our emotions. And from that perspective of awareness is where you can begin to cultivate persistent peace. It's interesting how she says those words in my head, persistent peace. There's a vibration, a feeling that literally comes in my right ear that like drives it home. Yes, persistent peace. How often do you experience peace is determined solely by how you use your attention in creating your focus in the present moment. Wherever you put your attention, you're going to cultivate the state upon which you put your attention. Persistent peace requires neither thought nor emotion for you to experience. The vibration of peace is not an emotion as you understand it. The vibration of peace is not connected to your body. It is connected to the essence of what you are. In the understanding that you are all things simultaneously throughout the creative process of being in both physical and non-physical dimensions, an awareness of that gives you peace. The fact that you are an integrated and complete organism will give you a state of peace, but you have to experience that state of being to know it. So one of the things she says right now that we can do to establish peace is as one of the things we've always said, breathing. She said, you have to get this instrument. You have to get this instrument as your servant. You have to make the instrument your servant. Too many of you still have the servant as your master, and it is hard to establish a rule in your house if you do not establish your authority over it. So breathing, she says, is always the very first place for you to begin that are in human bodies. Breathing is always the first place for you to begin, for it is something you have immediate and instant control over. You have immediate and instant control over your breath if you choose to recognize the power of that, the power that your choice to breathe in a manner you wish to breathe deliberately and consciously establishes your authority over not simply this body, but it also establishes your authority over matter in and of itself. The very nature of your breath, of breathing in and holding your breath and exhaling very specifically in any rhythm or pattern that you like, asserts your authority over your physical body. And over time, you can assign better states of being in your body and mind through assertion of this authority. You can assign a different state by acquiring the authority that you can be over this form. And indeed, all matter, in all matters, when you are able to establish control over matter, you have control over all matters. The vibration, the sensation I receive from this being, and again, she's not giving me a name, but she's extremely compassionate, and her hand, she's got her words come in my ear, but her hand is at my back, like I can feel like this heat coming in through my back, and this feeling that represents the feeling of peace that she's trying to communicate. Persistent peace. Begin with your breath, slowly, deeply, in and out, becoming aware that you soul, you spirit of universal light, soul, are asserting authority, dominion over this world, over matter, by the mere act of selectively and deliberately breathing in specific ways. It is the beginning of complete, as she says, it's the beginning of complete authority over all matters of your life, over all matters of your life. And I like that idea that we can start with the breath, and that is an act of your conscious awareness, your soul. You're using your soul to say, no, I'm going to make this body sit and breathe and relax. It's an assertion over matter, right? Isn't that what we're here to do? We're here to learn to be masters of matter, of energy and consciousness. When you use your breathing in a very specific and precise way, you will discover there are different states you can create with your breathing. You can create an excited state with your breathing. You can create a calming state with your breathing. You can create an integrative state with your breathing. But ultimately, the goal is to establish a persistent peace in your consciousness from which you can observe matters in your world that require a different usage of your energy. From a perspective of peace, you can choose which energy you wish to manifest. Do you wish to manifest more excitement in your life? Do you wish to manifest more opportunity in your life? Do you wish to manifest better relations in your life? Then it is important you understand this place of persistent peace from which you can begin to define and create what you wish your experience to be. For ultimately, if your body is in alignment with the state of being that you have chosen to manifest, then the very specific results in the world around you will begin to synchronize up with that. There is a period of time involved. Persistent peace. I like that. I hope everybody's drinking water today. The energies are very intense coming from the sun today. There are very intense energies coming from the sun today. There was a huge shift, a huge blip last night of massive wave of cosmic and gamma radiation and X-ray radiation hit the planet for about a 30-minute period last night. And everybody that was on the side of the Earth that was receiving that had their energy kicked up a couple of notches. And I'm feeling that in my system from last night. It's very interesting because when you start to receive more energy, your body will perceive anything it does not understand from its level. This is so important to understand, that your body can only perceive information, whether that information is coming through your 5 physical senses or through your spiritual senses of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, and claircognizance. If they're coming through there, your body will still perceive your awareness of them as something that's at the level, only at its level. In other words, it'll perceive it as either a threat or something that makes it feels good. And usually things that the body doesn't understand, it usually perceives them from a perspective of holding back or fear. So be mindful of that your body will often interpret information, can only interpret information at the level that it's at until you train it to interpret information from the level that you're at. As you awaken your soul, as you learn to commune and connect to different frequencies of knowledge, wisdom, energy, and the beings that are with you in synchronizing with that, it's important you understand that you can change the body so it only responds to what you are perceiving. And that becomes a very important thing, because once you start to perceive love or joy or bliss or creativity or prosperity or whatever the emotional energy you want to bring into form, the body will just accept it. It'll accept that you're being joyful because you want to be joyful. It'll accept being excited because you want to be excited. It'll accept being thoughtful because you're choosing that energy. The body then begins to only react to what your command is and not to the commands of its senses exclusively. That doesn't mean that we don't want to have our senses open to the potential of, once a long time ago, I was walking along the front of a building, and unbeknownst to me, I'm walking along, all of a sudden my body, without my thinking, literally left the ground like this, went over like that, like 3 feet, literally just automatically. I wasn't even aware. It was just suddenly I moved over. And there was a loud crash and a bang. And right beside me, a window had fallen out of a building. The whole window and frame fell out of the building. And this frame was now embedded in the ground right where I had been standing. And so there's obviously a part of our senses that can pick up dangers that you can't pick up necessarily on your own. So you want to keep the senses intact, but you want them operating from your perspective of well-being and not exclusive from theirs. So you want to develop your higher senses and train your body to be receptive to your ideas, your emotions that you've chosen, which means you need to get yourself into a place of persistent peace. And as you follow this course of breathing and learning to get your mind quiet and your body still, one of the things that begins to happen is you move into a place of free will, of free choice. Most humans on this planet do not have free will or free choice. Most humans on this planet have been conditioned by the environment to act, think, and behave according to the information coming in from the senses exclusively. And today, learning this process of just getting your body in a state that's quiet and peaceful, getting your mind quiet and peaceful, and being in that state, and then considering from there, what would you create from a state of peace? What would you do from a state of peace? What would you be from a state of peace? And what would you like to receive from the world What would you like to receive from the world as an energy? You can't do that within your mind or within your past. You can only do it within the present moment. Yes. So this being, again, I don't know who she is, but she's been here for a while. Hi, everybody. Hi, Courtney. Um, let's scroll back up here. I'm going to see if we got any questions today. Wonderful. Oh, I want to thank my patrons last night for our second live patrons only exclusive event, which lasted about an hour last night. Thank you everybody for your participation. It was really awesome. You guys asked some really amazing questions. We brought through some really cool people. And yeah, if anybody's here, please share your experience with that. It was wonderful. Okay, here we go. Kimberly, hi. I tried to watch the Patreon vid from yesterday. It won't give me access even though I'm signed in to Patreon. It says null. Okay, Kimberly, I will take a look at that once I finish this today and we'll correct that. But the video is available on the Patreon page. And again, I will take a look at my page and see if because I do believe it's only for Patreons to observe. It's not for anybody else, only patrons. Yes. Yes. So we'll get that sorted out for you, Kimberly. And thank you for bringing that to my attention. I appreciate it. Hello from South Africa. Hi, Allison. Wonderful to have you here. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for the guided meditation. By the way, we're doing another guided meditation on the 20th of June at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a guided meditation to further establish peace and love in the collective unconsciousness of humanity. Understand, just as these sound waves move through this body, or their vibrational waves coming into my soul and I perceive them, so too everything we think, feel, say, and do is radiating energy into time, space, and matter and reorganizing it. And this particular meditation on restoring further peace and love into the human collective unconsciousness on the 20th of this month is going to be very powerful. It will not only affect you, but it'll also give you the ability to be a broadcaster, a greater broadcaster of that frequency to the world of time and space around you, right? Because that's what we're doing. We are transmitters and receivers of energy, and the world now needs transmitters of higher frequency energies more than it needs receivers of higher frequency energies. It's got enough receivers of higher frequency energies. Now it needs more transmitters, which is part of the ascension process, is getting your consciousness elevated to such a state that you're pulling in frequencies of these divine beings and energies and able to articulate that through your body and into the world as a visceral energy that people can feel, right? Because remember, whatever you're feeling is radiating out through your electromagnetic field, right? Whatever you're feeling radiates out through your electromagnetic field. So in the course of your day, as you're going along, you'll find that people, if you're in a state of love and grace and you're feeling that love, people are going to look at you differently. They're going to respond differently. Things will happen differently around you from a perspective and energy of love, versus if you're feeling frustrated or upset, people will respond to you differently according to that energy. Become a transmitter of the energy, the vibration, the sensation that you want to see most often in the world. Wonderful. Let's see. Hello, Allison. Hello, Patricia. Let's see. I'm going to look for some questions now. Manoj has a question. I would appreciate a message from the angels, please, as I am disturbed since yesterday. The message for you is, it is important. You must learn to still the waters of your mind. You must learn to still the waters. If you can be so easily disturbed, how can you hope to establish joy in your life or love in your life in a consistent way? The disturbance is an opportunity for you. It is not something that was placed in your path for you to be experiencing trouble with. It is there for you to assert your will over, to quiet it down. As we were saying, persistent peace. Use your breath. Calm the disturbance down. Calm the sensation of the disturbance down your body. Bring and restore to your house, this divine temple in which you are. Restore to it the peace of your being, of that which you are. We would recommend that you stop trying to perceive the things that you call disturbances from the constructions in your own mind about what you think these things mean. When you are here to establish your rule in your life. Do these things. Breathe and bring this energy of disturbance to a quiet place. You can do this as easily as you can bring your body to a quiet place of peace through your breath. You may do this also with the emotions in your mind. You can still them just as you do your breath. And when you discover that you are the master over these energies, you will be free to be that which you came here to be and do that which you came here to do. But you cannot know these things if you are in the mistaken understanding that you somehow have no control over these things, when in fact you do, absolutely, as do all of us, on all planes, on all levels. We all do. Thank you, Minaj. Great question. Wonderful. Hi, Laura. Yeah, we missed you last night too. We will. I'll correct this area. The replay is up on my Patreon page. I will find out why it's not letting people watch it as soon as I finish this live event today. Hi, Janine. Yes, that was wonderful. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Anka's asking a question. Is there a message for me at this time from my guides or other beings of light? Wow. They're saying something about your heart. There's something in your heart that you have to put aside. In putting it aside, you will find the clarity in here again. That clarity will let you resolve that. It's like a square block. They're showing me this little square block that's behind the heart, that you need to put that aside, that energy sensation aside, restore your heart. And then from that energy, you will be able to resolve that. Again, I don't know what that is they're referring to, but have fun. Let us know how that goes, Anka. Thank you for the question. So, persistent peace. Consider what you do to establish peace. When you get up in the morning, what is the very first thing that happens for you when you come back in your body and your physical eyes open? What are the first thoughts there? What is the first go-to for your mind? Your awareness is the ship of consciousness that you use in this physical dimension. And the thoughts that are written in your mind can act like the rudder. So you want to identify what is the first thought in your mind. Is it a thought or is it a feeling? Are you thinking about, what do I do now? What am I going to do? Are you reviewing your day before you even start the day? Are you creating the day before it's even happened? Most people are. They pre-plan all the difficult things that are going to happen, usually within the first few minutes. They remember what happened the day before, and suddenly that memory comes back in their mind when they open their eyes, and they remember that happened. That might mean this today. You want to train your awareness so that when you come back into the body, your mind is quiet. And you can choose in the peaceful mind, you can choose what you want to give attention to. Today, I want to experience a vibration of love. I don't have to know what that's going to look like, but today I'm going to choose a vibration of love. Today, I'm going to choose a vibration of health. And the ideas of health and love will stimulate different things in your mind and body than remembering what happened yesterday and considering what might happen today because of what you remember yesterday, or what you think today might be based on what you remember, which is how most people live. Most people are living their past in the present. She's saying to tell you about how to make a proper future. You can only do this from this place of peace of which I speak. To create a proper future, you can only do it from the place of which I speak. She's referring to this place of peace. So watch what happens. Watch what happens. Tomorrow when you awaken, watch what happens in your mind. You can go back. You can go back to this morning. What was the first thought in your mind? What was the first idea there? What was there, right? Because what is there is going to act as a rudder for where you start the day off, right? So be mindful. So become conscious that you can choose to elect what you're going to put into your system, download into the system to direct how it's going to behave, right? Thank you. Been a really quiet and peaceful day. Magical Buddha is asking a question. Sorry for this question, but why do beings need titles like Buddha, Ascended Master, Archangel, etc.? Is there somewhat of a spiritual hierarchy? That is a very great question, and I believe somebody actually asked that question the other day, and the answer I got back is, while you are in a divided self, it is important that you understand that you need to understand the different degrees and qualities of energy, the different qualities of your consciousness as it blends through many levels of the creative process. It is important for you to understand that you are interconnected to all of these different reference points as a perception of one in truth. It is important to have a distinction of the qualities of energy for the sake of communicating that information and training your body and mind to a specific behavioral pattern, so that it supports and sustains the manifestation and expression of the qualities you are seeking to embody in this physical dimension. While there are many of us communicating to you right now, there are as many of us on this physical dimension as there are of you human beings. And the fact that there would be some confusion as to whether or not there is a distinction between one level of consciousness and another is something that has to be cleared up here and now. We exist as thoroughly and as completely as you do. The fact that your imagination would be restricted from conceiving of other potential realities explains to us why you might be experiencing some of the limiting beliefs that you're experiencing, or why you might have some of the questions that would restrict you from comprehending the very reality you're seeking to comprehend. You have 5 fingers on your hand and they are all different. You don't call them the same fingers, you give them different names. And you can operate each one independently of the other. So too is the great hierarchy of consciousness. It exists as equally as every human being, as every finger on your hand. Yes. Do not harbor doubt in your mind, and do not extend doubt to others. If you choose to harbor doubt in your mind, you will experience that in your world. Terry, question, is there any messages from the collective? Anything I need to know at this time of my experience? I'm not sure which collective you'd be referring to. She's calling for the collective. Okay, they're saying you need to drink more water. First and foremost, you need to be drinking more water. They're trying to put something into you. They're trying to give you some information. It's important you understand electrical connectivity. With water is a great conductor of electrical energy. And when you are asking for information to be downloaded to you, the moment you ask, what do I need to do? What can you inspire me? Give me a suggestion. The minute you ask, if you can become sensitive enough, there's an instant response. We teach this in our courses. There's an instant response to that question in energy. And if you're sensitive enough to the energy, it comes instantaneously. In this case, when that question you posed, because when I will read the question is asked. In reading your questions, I'm asking. When you ask, you always receive. The first thing I got was water, to increase the electrical conductivity for your awareness to receive the answer and the information that you're seeking to acquire from us out here, but you are capable fully of acquiring it from within yourself. Can you not feel that? Ask the question again and feel what happens here, and allow yourself to become aware of the meaning of the sensations of these energies. It is important that you develop your own interpretive capabilities, which are natural to who you are. You can see without your eyes, and you can hear without your ears, and you can feel without your physical senses. But you must cultivate the awareness of these non-physical senses in order for you to be able to interpret non-physical information. But electrical conductivity in the body is essential for that, for the body will process that information very differently. That's a really great question. Thank you so much, Terry. Are there limitless possibilities we can attract within our lives? Absolutely. That's a question from reflection. Are there limitless possibilities we can attract within our lives? Absolutely. Every conceivable reality any being throughout all of creation has considered has started the process of that thing manifesting. What what they're saying to me right now is what part of the reasons why when somebody says, "Oh, I wish I were dead," they don't die right away, because energy has to be organized very specifically. Or I want to be fabulously wealthy. Most people don't give the idea enough energy, and we're talking energy from the divine source, bringing that energy into matter. Most people aren't persistent enough in the process to establish it as a living reality. But you look at a guy like Leonardo da Vinci, who designed helicopters almost 600 years ago. He had designs for helicopters and flying machines that we now see today. It started out 600 years ago, and there were many beings since then that focused on that, right? But the idea took time to become manifested into time and space. And now, as a species, our creative capabilities are much higher now. We can manifest ideas from idea to matter in seconds, in some cases, they're saying. So you want to get to the place where you understand that every conceived of reality or reality, good, bad, or indifferent, becomes an actual creative manifestation, but only becomes a physical reality when it's received enough energy, where the actions, the technologies allow the manifestation to occur. In the case of non-physical beings, you can access them very quickly, but again, you have to develop the internal technology, the awareness, the sensation, the sensitivity of your other senses that allow you to tune into those frequencies. And once you tune into the energy of Buddha or Jesus or Joan of Arc or any being that you choose to connect to, Mother Mary, many others, as you choose to connect to those energies and become sensitive to them, they can then interact with and be influential in terms of how you're going to alter or change the course of your actions by receiving their wisdom and information. You can read a book about how to build a house. You can also read a book about how to make drugs. You could choose either of those books, and you'll get very different results. They're different creative mechanisms, but once you download the information into your system, you now can enact that or enable that to become a functional reality. So that's a really good question. Important to understand that we create functional realities, and we're at a time in human consciousness where it can be done faster, quicker than it ever has before. Faster and quicker than it ever has before, because we now know how to tap into the energy. We can feel the energy, and we can bring it into form. You can feel your bodies, what Master Jesus does when he does healing, when he does instantaneous healing. Same with Raphael. I tell the story about my father-in-law when he was here over Christmas, and all of a sudden he comes over and he said, and all of a sudden this big lump had appeared on his throat. He said, "I don't know where this came from." It was literally a huge lump on the side of his throat. I'm like, whoa, right? And I immediately called in Archangel Raphael to heal that. And literally, not even 30 seconds later, my father-in-law turned around and said, "Oh my God, it's gone." And it was literally gone in 30 seconds, right? So as you get more sensitive to energy and the vibration of the nature of that which you wish to manifest, in this case, I was really wanting to manifest a condition of health and well-being. I could receive that energy from Raphael, and it got transmitted directly to my father-in-law. So you can go from the undifferentiated state of energy to becoming a functional reality much quicker at this time in human consciousness. But you have to learn to become sensitive to the energy, feel it, allow it. So that when you call on Raphael and you call on Michael, you can feel their presence. And the minute you feel the presence, their energy can work on your behalf, right? Very important. And it applies to other things like making money or getting a job or proper relationships. It's the energy that you can connect to that's most important, right? And what better way to have more peace in your life? Because this is about persistent peace today. Wouldn't it make you feel more peaceful waking up in the morning knowing I can create any day I want to create for myself. I can create a day of joy. I can create a day of excitement. I can create a day of calmness and relaxation. To know that I can create a day of prosperity. I can create a day of anything. Once you know how to access the energy of the thing you want to experience, and you can bring that energy so that your body is feeling it, you begin to manifest it. It begins to become a physical reality much faster now than in Da Vinci's time, right? Let's see. So that was a great question, Reflection. Jean is asking, when I'm out and about feeling up, people gravitate to me as I share my light. I come on super high, so I'm not imagining my effect on others. Absolutely not. You are, remember, okay, right now, right at this very moment, let me tell you something. I'm raising my energy up. I'm bringing it up higher right now because I'm determined to let you know that when somebody transmits a higher vibration of energy, you feel it. You feel it, right? So, and I don't have to do that overtly. I can just be in the energy. I can just go right into that state and just feel that state. And people will feel it in the field around your body. So yes, absolutely. When you're in the energy of love, when you're in the energy of joy, when you're in the energy of peace, you're broadcasting it into the field. And anybody who gets close to your field will pick that information up as a vibration, right? And that's going on all the time. All the time. The question is, are you going to become conscious of that? And from what you're saying, you have done. You're now conscious that you can generate. Sit in a room go to a place where there's frustrated people. Go to a place where there's frustrated people and sit down and find a quiet spot and just move into a state of love and grace within yourself. Just move into a vibration of what you call love and just be in that and watch how the energy around you changes. For those of you that don't understand the nature of that question that they just asked. Thank you, Gina. Great question. Janine is asking, is my purpose to do with the earth grid? I see grids and colors. That's interesting you say that, Janine. This is the grid on the planet is being restabilized now in a profound way. I woke up this morning, I looked outside, and I could see it. So the answer to your question is absolutely yes. There are a lot of beings that are working with the electrical circuitry of the earth, because the earth is an electrical organism, just as your body is an electrical organism. So you want to be able to understand the grid patterns. You can feel them energetically. There's a science you might be interested in looking into called dowsing. And there's a gentleman by the name of Ramon Grace, Ramon Grace, one of the top dowsers on the planet. Check his page out because you can actually use dowsing rod to find specific ley lines or energy grid lines in the global electric circuit that you can begin to tap into, enhance, amplify. The peace meditation and love meditation we're doing on the 20th of this month is going to be tapping directly into that grid, right? We're going to be tapping into that grid, and you'll start seeing signs. Like you'll start seeing signs of the grid around you. Like I woke up this morning, I actually saw the grid in the energy of the atmosphere. It was amazing, surrounding the whole planet. It was beautiful. So yeah, absolutely. Courtney, I asked the universe to open the financial door for me to pay for the 101 course, and it has happened. I am excited to sign up this next weekend and join you in September. I've emailed you a few questions. Thank you, Courtney. We'll love having you in the course. We've got lots of people signing up now, and we're really excited about it. It's going to be a powerful course, probably one of the most powerful, because each time we've ever done it, they've evolved it up. They've had us change certain things. They brought through different meditations because the courses have deep meditations in to help integrate the information, the knowledge, and the energies of your divine beings. When you start connecting to your divine beings, the ones that you're here to work with, and the ones that are here to work with you, and you start working on sharing your information energy, just the same way as you can share your love with someone in this physical dimension, they can share their love and their light and their wisdom and knowledge with us all the time. We just have to develop the awareness of being open to receiving that. It's very fun. We'll look forward to seeing in the courses. And great manifestation. Maybe you could share how you did that. You asked the universe to open the financial door. Beautiful. I want to take classes with you, but I feel energetically or spiritually blocked, and I don't seem to be able to receive anything for some reason. Can you find out what I am doing wrong? The first thing that they're saying is you have not done anything wrong. You simply have to open yourself to the process of allowing yourself to receive that which is pounding its way to come in your door. You must move into the energy, the vibration of receiving. There is, you may use the visualization in your case of being a glass receiving water. If you sit in your meditation and you view yourself as a glass receiving water, this will give you a sensation for your body and your awareness to begin to allow the receptivity of that which you have already asked for, but your door is closed. You must open the door energetically to receiving that which you have asked us for. That's beautiful. I love that idea. So yeah, please let us know how that goes. Visualizing yourself in your meditation as a glass of water, receiving water. And again, I think the key point they just said is to become aware of the feeling of that receiving, the feeling, the sensation of it. When your body is feeling a sensation, it means you're bringing that reality into matter, right? When your body feels the sensation of what you're receiving energetically, it becomes a reality, right? Just like we got a fire truck going by right now outside. I can receive that vibration in many different ways. I just hear it as a fire truck. Some people might hear it and be stimulated by fear. So you've got to train your body and your mind to receive energies that are going to be conducive to what you want to manifest as part of your experience. So please share the results with us on what happens when you do that meditation. They're saying 3 times, 4 to 5 minutes a day, doing that meditation of breathing, visualizing yourself as a glass receiving water. I've never heard that one before. That's really cool. So thank you. Thank you. So yeah, please let us know, K Brentro 64. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome, Anka. Let us know how that goes. I'm excited. Every time they give you guys suggestions, I get excited. I get so pumped for you guys because I've watched so many miracles happen. And to me, the word miracles, it's really a natural phenomenon of understanding a process in which energy can operate without resistance in our lives. That's really what a miracle is, where energy has no resistance to operate in our lives. And from that definition, everything that occurs in our lives is a miracle, because whatever happens, good or bad, is a free flowing of divine energy manifesting the conditions of our lives. The miracles that we prefer to gravitate towards are more positive than negative. And we want to really learn to do that, right? Thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm just saying thank you to somebody that they let me be more on top here. You're welcome, Buddha. A question from Courtney, reflection. How can women deal with menopause more peacefully and efficiently? My mother suffers with it quite badly. Wow. Reflection. That's a great question. And this has actually been asked before, not in this show, but actually in our courses and classes. And the first thing they always said is hydration is very, very important. Most people, particularly women, when they get into menopause, most people, male or female, by the time they get around 45 or 50, are chronically dehydrated. They drink too much caffeine. They have too much processed sugars. They have things that lower the effective functionality of the body, because your body, if it's properly hydrated, has a proper nutrition, the menopause process, that transformation from one state to another, is very different. It's very different because you're releasing an older primal energy from the body and moving into a higher spiritual consciousness, which is what's really happening when you're going through those chemical and biological transitions. But the process can't happen naturally and organically when the body doesn't have the right resources to process that information as an energy. Get your mother drinking more water, eating more living food. Get her drinking more water, eating more living food. Move her away from processed sugars, caffeine, and whatever drugs that she's taking that would inhibit or prevent the electrical communication of information between her soul and her body, right? Because that's a disconnect. Your body's a divine instrument. So anyway, follow that process. Get her onto more water. Get her into more living foods. Get her away from processed sugars. Because the body is going through a natural organic process. It's not meant to be a painful, uncomfortable process. What are some of the symptoms of menopause? Intense heating, intense cooling. Well, your body heats and cools because something's not right. It heats when it needs to. It heats when it needs water. It cools when it needs warmth. It's like a car. Your body's got a thermostat. That's why I'd say, I drink anywhere from 3 to 6 liters of water every day. It's an important conductor. And when you're around that age 45, 50, your spiritual consciousness is trying to wake up. Your spiritual consciousness is trying to wake up, and it's trying to get down in here. But if the system is polluted and toxic, it's hard for a higher frequency to come into a lower frequency. It's very difficult. That's why we place a huge emphasis in our Mediumship 101 course, a huge emphasis on raising your vibrational frequency up, the body's vibration up, so it becomes more receptive to higher vibrations, right? Does that make sense? If you're listening to channel 10 on the TV and you want to listen to channel 17, you ain't going to hear it on channel 10. So you got to adjust the knob, adjust the station to pick up the higher channel. So as you raise the frequency of your body with proper eating, with removing things from it, from putting things into it that don't support it, you increase the body's frequency and sensitivity so that you can bring higher frequencies of energy in and receive higher frequencies of information from the beings that are on the different levels of consciousness that are with us all the time. We just have to tune into them. Great question. All great questions today. Thank you so much. Wonderful, Gina. That's terrific. Wonderful. Okay, questions. I think we're getting close to done today. 10:46. That's me saying I'm getting close to getting done. They're not. Question. Like I said, if you want to prioritize the questions, you can use. If you want to support this work, you can use the super chat. Bring your question. Prioritize your question. But you can also support the work by becoming a member of our Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. And you can support the work with a monthly donation for as low as $5 a month and support this work and us doing this every day as we've been doing it for a month or so now. Question. How can I get rid of past or passed down emotions? Wow, Lysandra, that is a beautiful question. And I got Master Jesus coming in on this question because he speaks extensively on this all the time about how the sins of the father and the mother are visited upon the children for 3 and 4 generations. And there's a fundamental principle in genetics that reveals that we inherit thought and emotion. And your question is simple. To release yourself from that, you must return to the kingdom. You must return to the kingdom here and now. You must not worry about them when they come and knock on your door. Do not answer. When they come and knock on your door, do not answer. Do not let them in. Do you understand? Okay. I'm going to paraphrase what he's saying. So when you've got thoughts from your past coming up, or emotions coming up that seem to come out of nowhere, move yourself in the present moment and release them. Use your breath and release them. Like literally, you can just release them. And the more you do that, the more you clean house. So what he's saying is when those old thoughts or old memories or fears come up, do not let them into your mind. Bring yourself in the present moment. The kingdom of God is here and now. It's not anywhere else. Do not get distracted by them. Let the dead bury the dead, which is your past. Your past is dead. Let the dead bury the dead. Do not go resurrecting it. That's what a lot of people do. From a genetics perspective, there is a science that's called epigenetics that's now proving that when you can consistently, which is beautiful because I've known this principle for many, many years, but now science is now proving that we can alter our DNA with thought and emotion. And this becomes very important at this time where there's a lot of geoengineering going on. There's a lot of fear being put into the collective unconsciousness. There's lots of misinformation. So it's very important to be able to establish an awareness, a clarity of what you are right now, so that all that other stuff does not hold sway over your, yes. Master Jesus calls that the biblical term, they called it the devil, right? But he says it's not the devil, it's distraction. Distraction is the devil, right? Being distracted from what you want, what you believe, is important to be established very clearly in who you are here and now, and to not let anything else distract you from that. Funny, I never heard that term before. So being able to stay in the present moment will liberate you from the past. And when you can stay in a strong enough energy, your DNA begins to rewrite. Literally, if you can stay in joy 20 minutes every day go into a state of absolute ecstatic joy, just be in that 20 minutes every day, you're going to notice a huge change in your physical health, in your mental health, and in how people are around you. And what you're going to think and say and do will begin to change as well, because it's coming from a different energy. So yeah, and when the energies, emotional energy is felt in your body, when you feel an emotion in your body, your DNA is being physically affected. When you feel an emotion in your body, when you generate an emotion in your body, it's reorganizing your DNA. So you want to create new emotions that support what you really want your experience to be, right? And in the course of a day, you can change a lot. You can change a lot of your DNA programming by being in that state. And we're all aware, most people suddenly get triggered into depression or sadness or anger, and they're lost in it until the body gets so chemically overwhelmed by the chemicals that depression produces that you come out of the depression. I felt, I had a good day today and a bad day tomorrow. That just means you're not in charge of your brain or your body, and your chemistry is being allowed to run on autopilot. You want to assert a deliberate, conscious state of joy, and you can do that. You can do that. Like, you can actually smile by choice, and just smiling will change your chemistry. If you can amp that smile up into joy and bring your body in that for 10, 15 minutes a day, you'll start rewriting the DNA. Your past will become past, and you'll be coming into the present with joy, right? Say sell, or say always celebrate. Yes. Gabrielle was just saying, when you blow the horn, it takes your, yes, which is your focus. When Gabriel blows his horn, that statement, blowing the horn, bringing yourself in the present moment. Chanting is like blowing your horn. When you chant or go, oh, you're bringing yourself, you're sounding the horn, bringing yourself into the present moment. And in the present moment, you are liberated from the past, right? In the present moment, you are liberated from the past. Great questions today, everybody. How much is 6 liters in ounces? Well, there's 16 ounces. I'll go to the old metric system. If there's 16 ounces in a quart, 32, so it's about 64 and 32. It's almost 100 ounces of water, I think, which isn't much over the course of a day when you think there's 24 hours in a day. Hi, Betsy. Questions. Wonderful. Wonderful. That's great. Well, guys, this has been an awesome day. Persistent peace. When you get yourself into that place where you're in the present moment. And I want to say thank you to the younger audience. We're starting to get people that are younger coming into this. Guys, listen, it's so important that you learn that your thoughts are not who you are. They're simply information that's been put in your brain. And that once you start to become aware of your thoughts and decide, do I really want that thought to become my reality? Your thoughts, and especially the younger people, you can make such a massive change on this planet in a very short time frame, because the energy that's been built up to allow us to manifest so quickly is more available to you guys. It's natural for you. So you want to be able to start mastering your thoughts, which in turn will let you master your emotions, and then in turn master your health. Thank you for that $5 sticker, Lysandra. I really appreciate that. Just going to scroll down here. Wow, a lot of questions I didn't know we had here. It's easier for me to find your question if you write question and then ask your question after that statement. So the word question and then the question. It'll be easier for me that way. Okay, Terry is asking a question. Can you please ask my spirit guides what's holding me up from manifesting a nice home? It is the feeling. Do you feel like you are in a nice home right now? And are you willing to keep up with that feeling until you've organized the matter around you to reflect that? You should understand by now, or we hope that you will know, that when you hold an emotional energy for any given length of time, it organizes the matter of this physical world. It organizes situation, circumstance, and conditions. Hold fast to the energy. hold fast to the energy of a nice home. Bring that into your body. Let your body feel it so that you know you are broadcasting it. The longer you're able to stay with it, the stronger you can maintain its frequency and transmission, the sooner you will have that experience of what you call a nice home. It is the energy, the vibration that is precipitating the conditions you call your physical world and the experiences in which you are walking through. Let's see. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Appreciation, love. Oh, thank you so much. Lovely comments. Thank you. Wonderful. I think we're through all the questions. This is delightful. We may be, I'm talking about this now. They haven't said yes, but I may be, I'm just seeing if we can shift the timing of this particular Shortcuts for Your Soul so it happens on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday instead of every day. They're kind of want me to do it every day, but I'm kind of saying, well, I kind of like a little bit of downtime here because I'm busy in so many other things too. But I always follow their instructions. They've never been wrong. When you're working with your guides and angels, they're never wrong. It's the strangest thing. It's a beautiful thing when you learn to hear and see and feel their presence with us all the time. It's an amazing thing. I have time for one more question. Thank you so much, Janine. And again, please remember we've got the meditation that's going to be happening on the 20th of this month at 8. It'll start at 8 p.m., but the meditation won't happen until 8:20. So the meditation is on 20 of this month. And it's to restore further vibration of peace and love in human collective unconsciousness, because that's where it's needed the most. Also, if you want to learn to connect to your guides and angels, please go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and sign up for the courses and classes and get involved and develop these super senses that we all have. We were all born with them. They're innate to everybody. They do have to be developed, much the same way as your parents taught you how to hold a fork or knife or how to speak or how to walk or talk. We had to learn that. The body had to be trained. Well, your senses, your non-physical senses, have to be trained too. And there's a process for that we've been given to share with everybody. So you can join the courses and classes. You can also support this work by going to my Patreon page and becoming a member of our Patreon group and get exclusive opportunities. Like last night, we did our second live Patreon only Q&A. Plus, you get to ask a question of your guides and angels every month. It's just a great thing. It's great work to support. I'm glad that all of you are here with us. So I'm going to wish everybody a wonderful, a joyful day. I'm just seeing where I am here in terms of what that is. Let's see what we got here. That's that. I'm just checking one thing out here, and then we will go. So yes, everybody, have yourselves a joyful day. We're going to connect with you tomorrow at 10 a.m. And I have a strong feeling Archangel Michael is going to be here tomorrow. So please join us for that, and we'll see you tomorrow.